live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live tonight. I'm Heidi Hatch. It is Monday, October 30th. We're going in depth tonight on Halloween and pedestrian safety. Before we dive in, though, we want to take a look at what is making headlines on this Monday, October 30th. First up, some homeowners in Draper are worried about the stability of their property after developers dug close to their property line. It comes in the same town where 2 homes slid down a landslide earlier this year. I'm sure you remember that viral video. Also happening today, people in Maine are returning to school and work today. It follows last week's mass shootings. The city of Lewiston held a vigil last night to honor the 18 people shot and killed by Robert Card. He was found dead Friday after a massive 2-day-long search. And back here in Utah, in Washington County, firefighters have contained the Berry Fire. It started near I-15 in Leeds. This fire has been reduced to about 12 acres. Crews say the fire was human caused. They're still looking for the person that started it. Also happening today, the Utah Jazz helping feed families in need. The team just announced a peanut butter donation drive. It happens on Thursday. Fans who bring in a 16-ounce jar of peanut butter will receive a free Chick-fil-A food card. There will be donation barrels inside the arena entrances, so remember a little PB on your way in. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join that conversation, and you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can just find me under TV Heidi Hatch. Bountiful parents are now pleading for stop signs at their neighborhood intersection. Neighbors believe the crosswalk is simply too dangerous for children that are walking to and from school. Emma Riley joining us tonight after speaking to parents about their concerns in this neighborhood. So Emma, what would they like to see change or happen there?
Yeah, parents are wanting the city to place 2 stop signs here at this crosswalk intersection. This is where tons of kids walk to school, to Holbrook Elementary in Bountiful. It all started after a neighbor living here on this corner. 2 cars collided here at this intersection and drove into their front yard. So they have been asking the city since January to do something about this and to place signs here at this crosswalk. There's a little kids over here right now, actually, but yeah, so they are asking the city to place 2 stop signs here. They have a transportation safety meeting on November 8th at 2 p.m. at the City Hall, and they will be bringing a petition that one of the neighbors has started. It already has 300 signatures, and so you can find more information about that on our website.
Does the city have any specific regulations or criteria that they have to meet to get a stop sign, or do they just look at this on a case-by-case basis?
Yes, they have federal regulations that they have to go through, and they will take a look at accident history, and they'll take a look at how much traffic comes through the area. So there are a lot of factors that they have to look at. They can't just put signs anywhere. It is a process, and so that is also something that is making it difficult to put stop signs here at this crosswalk.
All right, we'll be keeping close tabs on that. I'm sure a lot of kids out there tomorrow night for Halloween. Emma, thank you. Can't believe it's here already, but Halloween is tomorrow night, and the Utah Highway Patrol says parents really should be mapping out their child's safe trick-or-treating route right now. Officers say we've already seen a lot of auto-pedestrian crashes this month alone. Highway Patrol says there have been 8 fatal auto-pedestrian crashes just in October, and they're calling on drivers and pedestrians to look out for each other while the kids are out trick-or-treating. Paul Nelson is live tonight outside of UHP headquarters. And Paul, why specifically do we believe we're seeing this many crashes? Is it this time of day, or are we just not being responsible as drivers?
It's all of that and above. I mean, basically, the speed is always a factor. Diminished daylight hours is also a big factor. And also around Halloween, unfortunately, impaired drivers is also a big reason as to why these auto-pedestrian crashes are happening. But one of the more surprising things that I heard from UHP Sergeant Cameron Roden, he says it is very common for drivers not really to pay very close attention at the crosswalks. They'll start, will start turning sometimes right before, somebody's about ready to cross into the street and not even see them, not even be looking. So there's a lot of different reasons why these kinds of things are actually happening. But one thing that's quite interesting, you know how UHB has that rule, they can pull over a driver if they're going the speed limit on the freeway if the weather's bad, and they believe that the weather conditions are too dangerous to be driving that quickly. They have that option also for people who are driving the speed limit through a very crowded street as well. So, I mean, that is a possibility that could happen. It might be pretty rare, but Cameron Roden says it is a possibility. So that's something that drivers do need to look out for.
A good reminder to drive for those conditions. Have they had anything to say about whether this is more of a pedestrian or a driver thing? Do both sides need to be looking out?
One thing that they are telling the pedestrians is, like, never assume, even if you have the right of way, just never assume that you have actually been seen by the driver. Make eye contact with that driver before you actually go out into the street. Also, yes, they are warning the drivers. You have to definitely slow down out there. Now, there's a different concern that some parents have. It's about sex offenders. And I spoke with the Corrections Department of Corrections Communication Manager Glenn Mills. And he says that if anybody is concerned about sex offenders on their kids' trick-or-treat route, they can just look up the sex offender registry so that they can know which houses they want their children to avoid. The thing is, though, here in Utah, sex offenders are not allowed to decorate their homes, make it inviting for trick-or-treaters in any way. And if they do get a knock on the door, they're basically required to pretend that they're not home. So that is the rule for anybody on the sex offender registry. But if people are still concerned, they can still just map out exactly which houses that they want their kids to avoid.
All right, some great reminders for all of us tonight. Paul, thank you. We'd love to hear from you at home. How do you plan to supervise your kids while they're out trick-or-treating? You can scan the QR code on your screen to weigh in. Right now, the majority of you say you'll be walking around with them. 21% say they're going with a group. Got older kids doing that. At my house, my baby's 18, so...
What's he doing?
He'll probably be knocking on doors. If he knocks, maybe give him a piece of candy.
Yeah, free candy.
That's right. So if kids are headed out, I'm guessing that a jacket, a coat might be in need because it's been cold the last couple
It
days.
has been cold, but we will be a few degrees milder tomorrow. The good news, no rain, snow, or gusty winds.
Whew.
But again, it will be chilly. Now, if you're trick-or-treating right at 5 o'clock, Heidi, it's going to be 52 degrees here along the Wasatch Front. But by 7 o'clock, those temperatures drop into the mid-40s. So just layer up underneath your costume.
Okay, so the older kids are going to need the coats for sure.
I think so.
All right,
let's get right to your forecast. Here's what you need to know. There is going to be more of a warm-up coming our way. Unfortunately, it's not really going to be helping out very much for those trick-or-treaters. If you're in Park City at 6 o'clock tomorrow, it'll be 38 degrees. So you're really used to bundling up on the holiday. Vernal at 43, 46 in Logan, and Price at 47, upper 40s in Fillmore. Cedar, though, at 51. At St. George, of course, a spot to be, with a really comfortable temperature at 6 o'clock tomorrow at 64. Now, we have this big ridge of high pressure, which is where we're going to have some warmer air eventually. The problem is our winds are still out of the north. This high, though, is going to be drifting into Utah, or at least getting very close. And eventually, later in the week, we'll likely see that warm up, and it'll be above average, because right now we're below normal. Tonight, we're dipping down, again, just below freezing at 30 degrees, 20 in Park City, 19 in Evanston, some teens and 20s in northeastern and central Utah, and very close to freezing tonight in St. George, but I am forecasting 33 and not 32. Now tomorrow, lots of sunshine for your Halloween, 50s in northern Utah, close to 50 in Vernal. We'll be in the mid to upper 50s in central Utah, and St. George pretty comfortable at 67 degrees. So here's this high, and that really is our next weather maker, and that means the forecast is looking pretty dry and quiet for the remainder of the week. We're going to start to see a few clouds, though, begin to roll into northern and central Utah beginning on Wednesday. I just don't see a whole lot of moisture with those clouds. There's going to be a weak storm Thursday into Friday. This high is going to keep that storm north of Utah. So again, there might be a few showers in Idaho, but right now I'm leaving the forecast dry. There could be maybe a couple light showers on Friday near the Idaho border. But on Saturday, Arizona State at Utah, noon kickoff. Temperatures will be a little bit milder. They're staying mild for early November. Now at 10 o'clock, it's cold at 50 degrees, but during the game will likely be in the 60s, but there will be some cloud cover. Partly to mostly cloudy skies. Now, St. George, you have sunshine all the way through Thursday. 60s go into the 70s through the weekend. And don't forget, we fall back Saturday night into Sunday morning. But look at those temperatures, mid-70s, Saturday, Sunday, really nice. Overnight lows climbing into the 40s. Now here in Salt Lake, we're at 34 tonight, 54 tomorrow, 59 on Wednesday, and then we are above normal later in the week, 64 on Thursday, staying in the 60s through Saturday. So not a terrible weekend, but again, we'll have some clouds. Next storm will clip northern Utah on Sunday, and that's when we expect a better chance for some showers, but it doesn't look like a huge storm right now, with maybe just some light rain and some light snow up in the mountains.
I love that we're getting back to the 60s. I know it's fall, but it just happened too fast for me, so we're going to gradually move back.
We had that big drop in those temperatures, so this is going to be okay, and it's not too warm, so we're going to be in the low to mid 60s, and I think it's still going to be cold enough to hopefully that those ski resorts can still make some snow during the overnight hours.
Absolutely. Keeping a close eye on that. All right, Chase, thank you. You can remember to download the 2 News weather app to know about changes in your neighborhood as you head out the door. Get those updated forecasts and live radar right on your phone. The app is free and easy to download. We do want to take a look at what's trending on our website, KUTV.com tonight. A lot of news happening today, but trending right now. The Utah principal out of Utah County is telling his story about surviving on Survivor. Can't imagine that. Also, some serious news right now. 1 killed, 5 injured after a rear-end collision on I-15 in Nephi. That happening over the weekend. A missing Utah man. Silver alert has been located. Some good news there. And if you use eye drops, you want to check this out from CVS, Target, others carrying possible infection risk. We've been hearing about this on and off for about a year with some other brands that cause maybe blindness. Serious problem there. Check out and make sure that the eye drops you're using are safe, or just stop using them altogether. Also, a hunter found with some minor injuries after an overnight search in northern Utah. Definitely cold to be stuck out in the mountains right now. Remember, all these stories are on our KUTV mobile app, which you can download on your Apple App Store, or you can do it on Google Play. Okay, this is pretty cool. Check this out. The NBA just released pictures of the new basketball court the Utah Jazz are going to be using this season. And Chase, it is purple.
It is purple, but this is kind of cool in my opinion. Now, they're not going to be using this for the entire season.
No, but are they going to wear their purple uniforms with the purple court, or are they going to like spice it up and maybe go with a contrasting color? That's my question.
Maybe white is what I would be wearing with that floor.
Yeah, it's a whole lot going on, but the Jazz are going to play on the purple court during this year's special in-season tournament. All 30 teams are getting a new look court for the tournament, which starts Friday, November 3rd. As a reminder, you can watch all Utah Jazz games that are not nationally televised. That's most of them on KJazz Channel 14. And a reminder, you can find KUTV 2 News live on your phone, your tablet, your TV, your computer, anything that streams. You can stream those newscasts with the KUTV mobile app, Stir, News On, and YouTube. They're all free to download in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. I can't believe that we're talking about November being a couple days away. The year is starting to fly by.
I know. Again, Halloween tomorrow. Be extra careful if you are driving tomorrow evening. A lot of folks are going to be out walking around in the cold but dry weather, so be, again, extra careful.
If I knock on your door, what kind of treats can I expect?
I will be here. Actually, you know what? I just found out I'm going to be at the whole Barbie Land at daybreak for work. So at 5:30, I'm going to be doing my live weather out there. You'll see me as maybe Weatherman Ken.
Weatherman Ken, very cool. Well, thanks so much for watching 2 News Live tonight. We will be here 5:30 Monday through Friday. We hope you can join us again for more in-depth conversations on the topics that impact you and your family. Have a great Monday.